So it's a kind of massive pessimistic views going on in the market. And then, however, you are not that pessimistic.
We will enter into a productivity-driven recovery and then a very strong expansion given all of the new technologies evolving in the world today.
When are we going to see the stock market bouncing back? Or this year or next year? So Tesla shares have taken a significant hit lately, but do you think it will recover?
Yes. Oh, yes.
When we look back over the past 5 years, the ARK innovation funds have underperformed the Nasdaq over the past 5 years. How do you explain this to your investors?
いつもモーサテプレミアムをご覧いただきありがとうございます。テレビ東京の豊島晋作です。トランプ関税の影響で世界中で株価が大幅安、あるいは乱高下となる中で、私たちは今どんなスタンスで投資に向き合えばいいんでしょうか。基本的には冷静かつ長期投資の目線でということになるのかもしれませんが、今回はテスラなどへの投資で知られ、テック株の女王と言われてきたアメリカの資産運用会社アークインベストメントマネジメントのキャシー・ウッド CEO への単独インタビューをお届けしていきます。破壊的イノベーションが世界を変えていくという投資哲学のもと、いち早くテック株を見出して高いリターンを出すという運用戦略で、実際にかつては非常に高いパフォーマンスで有名になりましたが、近年はテック株が大幅安となる中でパフォーマンスはかなり苦戦しています。そんなキャシー・ウッド CEO は現在の株式相場、投資環境の混乱をどう見ているのでしょうか。皆さんの長期投資のための何かヒントはあるのでしょうか。暴落しているテスラ株についてどう見るのかについても聞いています。ではキャシー・ウッド CEO へのインタビュー、どうぞご覧ください。
Lately, the share prices in New York Stock Exchange and the Tokyo stock market also declining due to the concern of the Trump mutual tariffs might cause recession. So it's a kind of massive pessimistic views going on in the market. And then, however, you are not that pessimistic.
We are not that pessimistic. Now, the reason we are more optimistic about the future is the drop in activity is going to give this administration, President Trump and all of his deputies, and the Federal Reserve, many more degrees of freedom to stimulate the economy in the next few months. We will enter into a productivity-driven recovery and then a very strong expansion given all of the new technologies evolving in the world today.
So now, in other words, now, actually, how many, when are we going to see the stock market bouncing back? Or
Yes.
this year or next year?
Oh, we think that once this initial chaos associated with negotiations around immigration, drugs, fairness of trade, reciprocity, once this is over, we believe that President Trump is going to be focused more on GDP growth and the stock market because late this summer, early fall, the campaign season will begin for the midterm elections next year. So we think he's been using, or his cabinet members have been using the expression short-term pain for long-term gain. Okay, how long is short-term? We think it is this quarter, which is, or the first quarter, which is finished, and some of the second quarter. But by the end of the second quarter, we believe the chaotic feeling situation will subside and the focus will be on growth and getting growth going again. That inflation, after maybe a few months of tariff hit, inflation starts surprising on the low side of expectations
when we look back to the first quarter of this year, it seems that the Trump administration does not care about the stock market. Almost, he does he ignore it? But when you look forward, next year you're going to have a midterm election in the current parliament, and he will start care about the stock market, and a more pro-market stance will come.
Yes, I think once we get through whatever negotiations are going on around tariffs, and Liberation Day, which is what President Trump calls today, April 2nd, we might be talking about liberating growth and liberating the stock market. I think it's a healthy correction. Before the correction took place, we were already seeing signs that the market wanted to broaden out. For example, in the second quarter of last year, the market increased, but it was more than all of the increase was accounted for by the Mag 6. In the third quarter, the Mag 6 were left behind, and small and mid cap started outperforming. After the election, smaller and mid cap and below mega cap outperformed in a very big way. And I think we're going to come out the other side flying, actually, for the smaller and mid-cap companies.
To what extent do you think AI and other disruptive technologies will boost the U.S. economy over the United States?
Yes, we think that AI is the most profound technological revolution in history. AI, we believe, is the main reason that productivity is going to accelerate to levels we have not seen in decades, and will be sustained there in, we think, the next 3 to 4 years.
So some 25 years ago, we've seen a kind of dot-com bubble situation.
Yes.
Now, are we going to see the same thing, or this time is different?